Imagine ChatGPT, but it lives entirely on your laptop. No monthly fee, no account, no company watching what you type. Now, imagine it's sometimes faster than the AI websites you already use. Most people don't even realize this is possible, but it is, and it's called LM Studio. And depending on how you work, this could either change how you use AI forever or completely melt your laptop. In this video, I'm going to show you what LM Studio actually is in plain English, who should absolutely be using it, who should not touch it, and the trade-offs nobody mentions before you install it. By the end, you'll know if LM Studio should replace some of your ChatGPT use or if Cloud AI still makes more sense for you. First, let's start off. What is LM? The simplest way to think about it is LM Studio is a control center that lets you run AI models directly on your computer. Instead of typing a question into a website and sending it to a massive server farm somewhere else, LM Studio downloads the AI model onto your machine and runs it locally. So when you open it, you pick a model, you type a question, and you get a response. It feels sort of just like ChatGPT, but under the hood, everything that you know about ChatGPT and how AI models run is different. The model file lives right on your hard drive. The thinking happens on your CPU or GPU, not on some servers far away. And your prompts never have to leave your device. Literally turn off Wi-Fi and your AI on your computer still works. This is what it means when we say run locally. That means there is no company on the other end, no hidden training on your chats, no mystery logs, nobody reviewing conversations to improve the service. LM Studio turns your computer into your own private AI server. Lovely! And once you realize that, it kind of ruins cloud AI forever. I mean, who wants to pay tens to hundreds of dollars a year when you can just run it yourself? So why are tech people suddenly obsessed with this? There's three big reasons. The first one, it comes down to the cost. Most models you run in LM Studio are completely free. No subscriptions, no usage caps, no you've hit your message limit, please upgrade for $200 a month. You pay once in storage space and electricity, and that's it. And if you're using AI daily for studying, coding, business, or content creation, that adds up very fast. For a lot of people, cost alone is the breaking point of why they use LM Studio. Another breaking point is probably privacy. A lot of people in today's age do not like being watched by the government or different companies. So if you work with contracts, medical notes, unreleased content, client work, or internal business documents, sending all of that to a cloud AI can feel uncomfortable. It can feel revealing. Yes, companies promise we don't train on your data until they quietly change their terms 6 months later in the fine print. I won't name names. With LM Studio, your data stays on your machine, period. That's why lawyers, therapists, journals, government workers, security research, and privacy-focused creators are flocking to local AI. You're no longer sharing thoughts with a corporation, you're processing them yourself. So that goes into the third main reason why a lot of people are switching to LM Studio and running AI locally. Control. This is probably the most fun part. LM Studio lets you swap out AI models, like your underwear, like apps on your phone. Do you want one that's amazing at coding, another one that's better at storytelling, or one reason that's slower but much more carefully? You can switch those all in just the click of a mouse. You're not locked onto one company, one algorithm, one price, or one style of thinking. If you've ever thought, I wish I could just have my own AI and experiment with it, this is literally that. Would you trust an AI more if it ran locally, or does that not matter to you? Knowing what locally means. Comment local or cloud. I'm curious to know what end of the spectrum you guys are still on. Before we talk about who should actually be using LM Studio, let's talk about the best AI models to run inside it. Right now, as of January 3rd, 2026, and a Happy New Year to all of you, by the way, these are the models that most people use because they balance quality, speed, and hardware demands really well. All right, so in our number one position, we have OpenAI's GPT-OSS20B. This is one of the most capable open source models available right now. It has strong reasoning ability, great general knowledge, and produces thoughtful answers, especially on systems with decent hardware. If you want something that feels big and smart without being cloud AI, this is a great choice. Coming in at number 2, we have DeepSeek R1. R1 is designed to be efficient and fast while still feeling sharp and intelligent. It excels at conversational tasks, reasoning, and problem solving without needing the absolute highest end machine. It's kind of the sweet spot model for a lot of people. Coming in third, we have Google Gemma 3. Gemma 3 is incredibly strong at language, understanding, structured writing, brainstorming, summaries, and explanations. If you're doing research, learning, content writing, note-taking, or knowledge work, Gemma feels polished and stable. Coming in at number 4, we have the Qwen models. The Qwen models are amazing for coding, multilingual support, general productivity, and everyday assistance. They're efficient, surprisingly capable, and run well even on mid-range setups. If you want a dependable daily use assistant, Qwen is a great bet. All right, and for number 5, we have Maestro 7B Instruct. This one surprises actually a lot of people. It's only 7 billion parameters, but it punches way above its weight. It's lightweight, memory-friendly, and fantastic for drafting, editing, structured outputs, brainstorming, and quick tasks. It's a great option if you're on a laptop or if you want good performance without melting your whole machine. So these ones aren't just some random downloads. They each fill a different sweet spot. Big reasoning, speed, creativity, coding, multilingual, lightweight performance, and being able to pick the right tool for the job. That's the real power of LM Studio. All right, now let's get specific because LM Studio is incredible, but it is absolutely not for everyone. So some of the people who it is perfect for would be law, finance, healthcare, journalism, anywhere data sensitivity matters. You can summarize documents, analyze information, and brainstorm ideas without uploading anything to a third-party server. For some people, this isn't just convenient, it's legally necessary. Another huge group that could benefit from LM Studios is students. If you constantly ask AI to explain concepts, rewrite notes, quiz you, or help with assignments, local AI is amazing and cheap, especially being a college student. There's no limits, there's no slowdowns, and it works offline during those late night study sessions when your internet is questionable. Another group of people who it could also benefit is creators and indie developers. LM Studio can expose a local API that mimics OpenAI's API, meaning your apps, scripts, and automations can talk to your local AI instead of a cloud one. Your project keeps working offline without rate limits and without surprise bills. For developers, this is game-changing. If you're the kind of person who loves tweaking settings, comparing models, benchmarking performance, or pushing hardware limits, LM Studio feels like a playground. This is the difference between using AI and actually owning your AI. Now, let's get to the honest part. LM Studio might not be for you if you're on a weak laptop with 8 gigabytes of RAM or less. You don't want to download large files. You don't want to tweak anything. You just want instant answers with zero setup. It probably is not for you. Local AI is powerful, but it's not magic, and sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. Here's a realistic hardware baseline. 16 gigabytes of RAM is a comfortable starting point to run those models that I gave you previously very well. You'll want 20 to 30 gigabytes of free storage and a modern GPU or Apple Silicon that makes everything dramatically better. Can you run it on less? Yes, you can. Will it feel slower with big models? Also yes. If your computer already cries when you open Chrome or literally goes slower than a turtle, LM Studios might break its spirit. So what does daily life with LM Studio actually feel like? Open the app, browse the models, download one, or enter one, chat. Simple, easy. In LM Studio, you can paste in long PDFs and summarize them, draft YouTube scripts, emails, or lesson plans, ask coding questions offline, brainstorm business ideas, write content privately, build automations, experiment without limitations. The possibilities are endless. And if you're more technical, you flip on server mode and connect it to tools like Obsidian, Notion workflows, DevTools, or custom apps. For a lot of people, it feels like having a thinking partner that never phones home. Your computer stops being a device that uses AI and becomes a place where AI actually lives. If you care about privacy, hate subscriptions, or want deeper control over AI, the answer is probably yes. The answer was probably yes at the beginning of this video. If you want zero setup, instant answers, and you're on a weaker laptop, cloud AI still makes more sense. Just find the model that will work the best with your hardware, with your current hardware. Next up, I'm covering step-by-step setup, best beginner-friendly models. What's the first thing you're gonna use your own private AI for? Let me know down below. Here's something most people don't realize today. The drone you can buy today is more powerful than the drones government were using just 15 years ago. Not for weapons, but for cameras, mapping, inspections, and rescue. Early consumer drones were basically flying toys. Short battery life, no GPS, and very little stability. Today's commercial drones have satellite navigation, obstacle avoidance, return to home system, and cameras that can zoom further than the human eye. All of that power exists because drones were designed to help photographers, engineers, and first responders do their jobs better. But as drones became more capable, governments realized something important. When technology gets stronger and more accessible, safety rules have to evolve with it. A drone that can fly several miles, hover precisely, and carry equipment needs clearer boundaries than a toy helicopter. There have been moments around the world where drones appeared in places they shouldn't have been, near airports, public events, or government buildings. One widely reported example involved an incident near Nicolas Maduro, which helped highlight how accessible drone technology had become. Events like that weren't about banning drones, they were about understanding them better. That's why modern drones now include built-in safety technology. Geofencing prevents drones from flying near restricted areas. Remote ID lets authorities identify drones in the air. Altitude limits, automatic landings, and signal. This is so slow.